And we are. I'm gonna say I think we are live, but
well, hello there.
Because truth be told, I didn't know what profile I had Roll20 set to. Well, not Roll20, but OBS set to before, like right after I pressed the button and then got up to get coffee.
Well, we have audio and we have cam, so.
The question is everybody here?
Roger.
Can hear us, but she is away from her desk dealing with Babu.
Yeah, I think Gilly said something about suplexing a child.
The premium bedtime strategy.
Back to bed.
If it isn't whiskey and NyQuil, it's a suplex.
That was my nanny. My nanny used to dip our pacifiers in whiskey when she got tired of our bullshit at night. It's just like, I'm tired of you little motherfuckers.
And that was the old school cure.
You're going to bed now.
Have trouble sleeping? Here's a little whiskey pacifier.
Yep. Oh man.
Yeah, that was that, and no, it wasn't NyQuil, it was Robitussin.
Tussin.
Yep. That'll knock that will knock you right out.
Get low on Tussin, put some more in it, shake it up, got more Tussin.
But anyway, aside from lessons in
bad lessons in parenting.
Yeah, bad lessons in parenting from people who do not have children.
I mean, I came out AB normal, so.
I came out as normal as possible. I mean, So how are all of you? I know we've been away for a week as the winter hours of the games industry are now upon us, which is a little bit longer work hours.
Yeah. My whole team
go ahead.
I said my whole team is planning what we're going to do next week because we have a week-long moratorium starting Wednesday of next week. Well, because we're a data center, so
yeah,
all production servers are locked from the 20th to the 2nd. So unless something business critical is broken, don't touch it. Don't even look at it.
Sounds like the office is about to get multiple installs of like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14 on it.
Oh, not on the cheesy ass laptops they give us to work on. That's not gonna happen.
But yes, so Zorro and Gilly will be joining us when they can. They are dealing with being actual parents and not doing the bad suggestions that we just said on stream.
They may be bad suggestions.
They work.
But they work.
They work. How well they work?
It varies from kid to kid, right?
Like every medication.
You won't know until you try.
I guess it depends on the level of tolerance a child has.
It's like the recommendation on any medication. Side effects may vary.
True. But yeah, so the last time we were together, you all got some shiny items from the Snow Mother as a thank you for keeping an eye on Nolani and then bringing her back after her quote-unquote death/transformation, as well as seeing her to the crypt of her twin soul in order to gain the blessing and weaponry of said person. Nolani was given a bit of a shocking title, as she is now technically the new queen of the region up in the Ashen Spire. I was almost said the Bleeding Spire. I'm like, that's not right.
I mean, you kind of got there. Bleeding Chasm, Ashen
Bleeding
Spire,
Chasm
they're
and
right
Ashen
beside each
Spire.
other.
Yeah.
I mean,
one is the product of another.
Bleeding does happen while you're up there, so
It does.
you know.
It does. Though situations in the South have been drastically brewing as you guys were up in the Ashen Spire. Using your teleportation stones, you were able to take yourselves from Tamaga back down into Hampstead, into your personal home that had the teleportation circle set up in its basement. And when you arrived there, you noticed that the house renovations that you had paid for before you left were completed. All of your specialty rooms and instructions as to how to shape the house had been followed, and you had now had a perfectly livable space to call your own. Your two new friends, Damon and Kel, joined you down in Hampstead as well. Damon running off to meet with his, you now know, girlfriend, who you know as Den Mother, as she was in Hampstead awaiting further instructions as to how they were going to set up the rescue attempt for your who was it? It was for Lisa. Yeah, the rescue attempt for Lisa Breton up from the prison in the north near the Bleeding Chasm and the Sun's Crest. Though right now you are in a bit of some downtime, as you haven't really had any since you had last left Hampstead. It seemed to be one trial and tribulation after another. And as everybody started acclimating to their new home, the Mia was given some very disturbing news, as she learned that during the surge that kind of tore through the rest of the world after that god had awakened, the one that had brought more coalesced mana crystals to the surface and has pretty much caused a magical influx to sort of wash over the land, sort of awakening latent power in those with the talent to wield the magic. You found that unfortunately Etrin was a casualty of this, as the curse that had been placed upon him had finally taken effect, and he, as he's told you before, when the curse would come to its culmination, he would turn into a book. And unfortunately, this happened while you were away. Chandra did, though, give Mia the book, as she felt it was best in her hands. And Mia, upon looking at this very beautifully crafted book with these moving archaic symbols and golden dragons, looking inside the book was just a treasure trove of magical knowledge, as this is technically an artifact that you have in your possession, even though it was a living being at one point in time. It is now, depending on whose hands it is in, Mia, you do notice that this book could be a weapon of mass destruction, just because of the power that it gives the holder. As you've spent some time with the book, as during your first night, that you've learned that this book pretty much will allow you to tap into any school of magic with or without the proper training, and be able to cast spells from it as if you were a trained wielder of this. Now, with the time that you spent in the book, you realize that there is a caveat. The book technically only has 9 spell slots a day. This means that the book can cast spells from 1st to 9th level, but each of those spell slots are deducted from whatever level spell is cast. The spell itself from this book, these spells cannot be upcast. They are cast at base level.
Okay.
Along with that, I did tell you this in the DMs that we had, that the book itself, that anytime you use it, it is an action to use the book. There is a slim chance that Etrin's curse may be passed on to you. The chance is greatly increased if you cast a spell level that you yourself cannot cast at the moment. So if you cast like a 7th level spell, but you only have the ability to cast like 5th level, you're like tapping into dangerous territory. And Vitamancy is not covered in that book. There are no Vitamancy spells, as this is sort of a new school of magic that's being introduced.
Yeah.
But who knows, if Mia turns into a book, maybe the world will get an early access into Vitamancy.
Yeah, you never know. Never know.
But as we are picking up, I'm going to go ahead and say that the previous day, where you have all sort of come home and gotten rest and started thinking about the path forward, that the day and the night have passed. Everyone has gotten a full rest, and you wake up to a soft bell chime coming from each of your rooms. And as you stir, you can see that there is a small bell above each of your beds. But as the bell rings, like the very pleasant smell of breakfast sort of kind of wafts into your room, as this is your kitchen mimics notification to you that it is now breakfast time and breakfast is being served.
I have a lot planned for the day, so I'm going to get an early start and go straight down to the kitchen as soon as that bell rings.
It's looking for the house music. Hello, Evie. What about the rest of you?
I'm probably gonna slow roll out of bed and like probably go down like 15 to 20 minutes after the bell rings.
And what Azure Claw?
Azure Claw is actually going to get a bright and very active start on the day, and I am going to go down and do some light training against what I'm hoping they installed some sort of sparring dummy.
There are training dummies that are kind of like scattered around the outer rings of the training ground for people to
Lovely.
get their hits in and their morning routines in.
And that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Perfect music.
I know I have it in my notes somewhere, but does anybody remember off the top of their head what the name of our butler guy was?
Oliver.
Oliver, that's
Yeah,
it.
Ollie. And as you walk into the dining room, Ollie is already there, like setting out a fresh tray of fruits and a small baked goods. And he kind of just like smiles and gives you a nod as you come in.
All looks wonderful.
Oh, it doesn't it?
I can't wait to dig in, but I'm actually glad that you're here, Ollie. I need your help with something, and the sooner we get on it, the better.
That is what I am here for.
Do you know what the status of the Artificers College is?
Oh, the Artificers College. Yes, I most definitely know the status of that. They well, as he walks over and he like takes his seat out and he sits down across from you, pours himself like a small cup of tea and sort of like motions as it like offering you some as well.
And I'll take some.
He pours you a cup of tea and he sort of like passes it over on a small tray with like a saucer of like sugar and honey and milk, and he's like, so you've been gone for quite some time.
We have.
And I would assume that this is you are already aware of the magical happenings around the area.
Yes.
The while you were so far up north into the volcanic region, we down here went through an interesting weather shift. The snows started to melt away, the skies cleared up for the first time in years. But what we had discovered was that this so-called curse of undeath that we were led to believe that was put on this land was nothing more than strategically placed runes of undead creation that would trigger at a certain time every night and spawn these undead aberrations out onto the lands.
Runes beneath the snow
Beneath
this whole
the snow.
time.
Yes, we've had a couple individuals take a look at it. One of them being the moth gentleman from the Mad Dogs, Mr. Lamplight, I think it was. He said that the runes themselves were handcrafted, that they were arcane in nature, and that the snow itself was even a magical transfiguration. As we normally get snow up here in the winters, it never lasts for this long. And the more that he and the others investigating it dug into it, they found that all of this was created at the hands of those behind the sun's crest. You could then understand how the information sort of spread like wildfire. The other towns in open revolt against Morning Glory, against the capital. This is also to say that certain institutions, your Artificers College for one, and the Mages of the First Light's Tower, have joined in said rebellion and have quickly ousted any sort of Inquisition or Church of Light's presence from their grounds. About a couple days ago, Morning Glory has shut its gates.
Shut its gates completely.
Completely. There is nobody in nor out. Any church officials that were out here, the priests that were running the temples, any inquisitors, anything like that, have been called back, and they are now shut behind the gates of the Sun's Crest.
Curious. Any word on the secret train tunnels that the church officials used?
They, oof. Let's just say that going down there, you would now need to dig rather than ride a train. They've all been collapsed.
Perhaps this is good news. That means they're scared. They're scared of what the rest of us can do.
Scared is an understatement, miss. They are terrified. Those who go beyond never pass now. It is now no longer your life will be ended. Your life will be taken by the hordes of the undead or the evil that creeps in the darkness. It's you will be shot down upon sight from anybody walking the Sun's Crest. They are taking absolutely no chance. We've gotten reports that even those who are showing any bit of sympathy for us beyond the wall are being thrown off the crest itself.
I suppose one thing about being scared is it does make them dangerous. However, it also makes them impulsive. People that are scared don't usually have the foresight of those that aren't.
Yes, and that leads us to another issue. The wonderful location that Miss Lisa Breton is being held at right now. We've received word that they are to begin summary executions of all incarcerated there at the moment within the week.
Oh, that is a problem.
As it's always been rumored that the most dangerous of the enemies of the church have been stored there. Now that the truth is slowly starting to come out, people are starting to question who exactly is being held at this prison. And in that case, they'd much rather silence those voices than risk anything getting out.
Suppose we'll need to decide then if it's in our best interest to try to get in there covertly, just a few of us, or if it might be worth it to just gather as many forces as we can and assault the prison directly. I assume we have forces that can be gathered. The rebellion is organized in some degree.
It's organizing, and it's sort of in its ragtag stages right now. Of course, the Hunters Guilds have already started conversing with one another and beginning to take charge as the heads of this rebellion. The mages and the artificers are spreading out throughout the cities and whatnot to help as where they can, but it's still in its infancy.
Well, that's something that we'll definitely need to discuss as a group sooner rather than later. We, at the very least, need to get Lisa back here. She'll be invaluable to this whole operation.
That's what I've been hearing.
Now, on to other matters. The Artificers College, as I had asked about. Would it be possible for you to send a missive there on my behalf? I require the services of the most skilled artificer they can spare at the moment.
Well, I could send a missive out. That would be no problem. But we do happen to have an artificer here in the city.
Oh, we do?
If she's the best of the best, I couldn't tell you. But she just arrived about a couple days before you and yours appeared back into the basement of this home.
Good timing. I don't suppose you could then point me to where she's staying, or summon her here. She could make use of our workshop if she needs a place.
Well, I can most definitely offer an invite to her.
I would be most appreciative.
I will.
And do let her know that this is kind of a name your price type of thing. My coffers aren't bottomless, but I'm sure something can be worked out that would benefit her.
Well, I can't make any promises for her, but from my understanding, she is a rather fair individual, very understanding.
And if she's here, she has no love for the church, so that at least gives us something in common.
Well, I can say that right now there is no love for the church beyond the wall, as those who, much like those who show sympathy for us on the side of Morning Glory, are cast from the walls. Those who show any sympathy towards the church are quickly being ousted from the towns.
It's those that are on the other side of the sun's crest that don't necessarily stand with the church. They'll have to lay low and keep quiet, or else, as you mentioned, they'd be tossed off the edge of the wall, and nobody wants that.
Nobody wants to be tossed off the crest. I hear that it is a very unpleasant sight and sound.
However, if history has taught us anything, even in the lion's den, so to speak, a rebellion always brews. I'm sure there is already something happening within Morning Glory itself that we will be able to capitalize on once we're beyond the sun's crest.
Well, miss, I hope you were right, and that your positive outlook does carry you and yours to victory.
Well, if there isn't something brewing already, we'll be giving them a reason to brew in no time.
Now, is there any specific time you wish to meet this artificer? Or is this also a name your own time sort of visit?
The sooner the better. I have a lot of studying that I need to do today, and I will be putting that studying into practical use immediately afterwards. So the sooner I can discuss my plans with the artificer, the better.
That I can get a letter out.
Thank you.
Now that she's in the city, that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
I'm going to enjoy this breakfast that's been prepared for us, and then if you need me for anything, you can likely find me in my room.
Of course. I will get going on that letter right away. As he's like sort of like gets up to excuse himself, and as he's walking out the door, he sort of like almost like bumps into Yuriko. He's like, "Oh, my apologies. I'm already spinning up work in my head. Breakfast is served. Mina's already in there. I would assume that everyone else is on their way."
Just Mina.
Yeah, for now, but once the smell of bacon starts wafting into the room, everybody comes running. So I would get your seat now. Sort of shuffles around you and sort of runs off.
There's a sitting room before the kitchen, right?
Yeah, there's like a small, I guess you would call it smoking room. That's like adjoining to the kitchen. Not the kitchen, but the dining room.
I would go there and wait for other people to get into the kitchen.
Okay. Gilly, did you hear?
I heard most of it. My headset cut out for just a little bit.
Okay.
I came back in while Mia was having her discussion about what's going on in the area.
But you heard that, like, when the little bell rang in your room, sort of like the smell of breakfast sort of like wafting in.
Yup, I missed that part. I had to cut out.
Yeah, because all of you have like these little bells above your bed that will ring, and then like the smell of food will start wafting in from it, sort of like your kitchen mimics signal to you that food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever is now being served.
Well, definitely need breakfast so I can work my morning workout. I'll join everyone in the kitchen so I can serve myself up a hearty breakfast.
Okay.
Then plan on going to the training room afterwards.
And you see that as Nalani files in, Kel is like sort of like following behind you, like very, very tired and like very disheveled, and just like a very confused look on his face. Why is my room smelling like pancakes?
Oh, that's the kitchen. It likes to spread the smell. I don't quite understand it. Kitchen cooks.
The kitchen's alive?
Apparently. Something like that.
I mean, we have a ghost librarian back at my grandfather's house. I guess it makes sense.
How's that work?
Very protective. Don't go near one of the bookcases because it's a mimic and it'll eat you if you don't have permission to look at the smut that's behind it.
Oh. Okay. Noted. Don't know when I'm ever going to use that information, but noted.
Look, it was just told to us a lot growing up.
Are you sure it's a mimic and it wasn't just told to you to keep you away from it?
Oh no, we had a live demonstration with the chicken in the bookcase and what happened when the chicken got too close to the bookcase. So no, it is most definitely a mimic.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what our kitchen is. I just know it cooks. And the smell comes in our room.
Well, as enchanted or haunted things go, I mean, I guess, kitchen that self cooks food isn't a bad thing.
It also gets very upset if you try and cook your own food.
Good to know.
So I wonder if we could ask your permission.
Like the two of you begin to like file in, you see Yuriko kind of just like begrudgingly sitting in the smoking room, sort of almost like waiting for other people to show up before going into the dining room.
Not begrudgingly. It's not her fault. She has resting bitch face. She always looks like she's in a foul mood. She's just curled up on a couch, waiting for other people to walk by before she deigns to go into the kitchen.
And all just goes in the kitchen. To pay Yuriko any mind. They ain't that close, sorry.
And Azure Claw, do you file in after get your morning workout in?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay. And as you all begin to file in, you already see Mia there, making a plate and enjoying the breakfast that has been provided.
Morning.
Morning.
Yep, it is most definitely morning.
Are you not an early riser?
When I'm sleeping outside, yes. When I have a bed, I don't like getting up before 3.
I don't think I could sleep that long. That's impressive.
I don't normally sleep when I'm outside, so I guess, it's recovery time.
That makes a little more sense.
After like a few minutes, Yuriko will come walking in. And since we're not doing anything as far as getting ready to leave or anything, Yuriko's just dressed in, her her loungeabouts, which is basically, just some form-fitting, PJs and like a silk robe and sandals. And she just,
it got like a little blankie wrapped around her.
No, it's like it's like she dresses, she dresses for comfort when she's not, she's, she is girly when she's not on the job. And she's not on the job. She doesn't just, but she doesn't, her personality isn't one of a girly girl, but, she likes to indulge of the fineries of life when she's not, neck deep in mud and blood.
Yeah, she likes to relax.
Yeah. Her normal life is, is death and mayhem. So when she's not on the clock, she likes to be, as close to normal as humanly possible.
After hearing Yuriko finally walk into the kitchen, Mia is going to take the teapot that Ollie had poured our tea from and pour a new cup of tea and just slide it over to the seat next to her that's empty. Not looking directly at Yuriko or anything, but knowing that Yuriko is a tea drinker. It's a very deliberate invitation.
She pours a separate cup of tea.
It's fair.
Just one of these.
No reaction.
Just one of those. I'm going to make you my friend type things.
It's there it was close, and then the wish happened, and a lot of ground was lost.
Okay, we'll get there.
She's just sitting down.
So once everybody is here and sitting down, I will fill them in on all the info that Ollie and I had talked about, like just the state of things and the Sun's Crest having its doors shut and all of that stuff. I'll let them know everything. So,
go ahead.
We have a decision to make. We need Lisa, and she's in prison, and executions begin at that prison in a week.
You're muted, Gilly.
That's not good.
No. I'm sure there's more potential allies in that prison for us than just Lisa, but she is priority one. So we need to decide how to free her.
You have a plan?
Yuriko just goes, "Do you know anyone who can get us a layout of the prison?"
Well, I didn't even know the prison existed until we first heard about it. So it might be a bit difficult to get a floor plan or anything of the sort, but it's worth asking around. The more information we have, the better.
Rats are diving off a sinking ship. I doubt very seriously it'll be hard to find someone who can give us some information for the right amount of coin.
And you hear the front door sort of open and shut, and there's two pairs of feet sort of like walk towards the rest of you into the dining room, as you see both Den Mother and Damon walking in. Her kind of like holding on to his arm, both of them having like a very relaxed look on their face as they sort of like take a seat And then Mother kind of like leans back and kicks her feet up on the table. Just very casual, like, you know, she was known to do back in Madtown. Well, the good thing is we have a plan, and it requires a lot of explosives.
Oh. Well, sometimes explosives are the answer.
In my line of work, explosives are the answer a lot of times. By the way, it's nice to see all of you again. I'm happy to see that at least some of the members of the Mad Dogs are still kicking.
It's nice to see that you're in one piece as well.
That sounds very ominous.
What happened to the others?
Let's just say that snow melted, hordes of undead, and cleanup happened. Unfortunately, being on the front lines, you tend to lose almost as much as you take. Though we're not completely dwindled. Though we're most definitely looking for new members.
But have you considered putting this whole rebellion under the flag of the Mad Dogs?
Oh, the Mad Dogs are a part of the rebellion. Us, the other Hunters Guilds, we're spearheading it.
Why not unite everyone under a single banner is what I mean. I mean, it's nice to have all the individual organizations, but
Oh,
you know,
you
rebellion needs a flag to fly.
You misunderstand me. When I say that it's being spearheaded, I mean we are in charge of the rebellion. It is all one rebellion. We're just, you know, spread out between the cities.
See.
Now, what all have you been told about what's going on? I assume from Damon and Dumbass here that is you see Kel kind of smirk and just flip her off. that Lisa's being held, and well, we need to get her out as soon as possible.
Yes, and I'll fill her in as well on everything that Ollie and I had discussed.
So, the plan that we have so far is it's going to be sort of a Team A, Team B sort of thing. Team A is going to be running a distraction, causing a commotion at the crest near the gates of Morning Glory, sort of drawing the church's attention that way, as Team B, a smaller team, is going to be going into the prison itself and causing a ruckus there. A prison break, simply put.
Causing a ruckus sounds fun.
Indeed. Is this operation already underway? Because executions, if they're starting in a week, there's not a lot of time to get there.
It's not, but we have means.
What sort of means?
Well, magic. You know.
Magic's not working right now.
Oh, magic's working is amazing right now. Don't worry. Lamplight and the others have already secured a landing spot near the inner rim of the Howling Forest. We'll meet there and then we'll begin our trek towards the prison itself. That is if you are all willing to allow us to use your teleportation circle.
I certainly have no objections.
I got no problem with it. Yeah, you probably have the best idea of how it works, so if you don't think it's a problem, then...
If anything, it's, I think, a great boon to have this fixed point that we can travel to and from and allow others to travel to and from. So
Which others?
if the rebellion needs it, I'm for it.
Speaking of which, when I was before we left the north, I was given a crystal that will essentially work the same way back to Umaga, if we need it.
Let's hope we don't need it.
Yes, let's hope not, but let's also not count out the assistance of your people in this endeavor. I know they aren't unified under your leadership yet. That's gonna take time.
A lot of time.
Yeah, that reminds me. Do I still call you Nalani, or do you prefer Your Majesty or Your Highness?
She probably starts choking on our food at this question.
When she asks that, I scoff and roll my eyes and take a sip of tea.
Look, I haven't really met royalty myself. You know, I know we got the queen, but the queen's a kid, so.
No, it's fine. I'm still not used to it myself, so please don't worry about it.
Consider it not worried about. Wasn't gonna call you by any fancy title anyway. I just wanted to know if it was gonna offend you if I didn't.
I think you'd have to try a lot harder than that to offend me.
Good to know. So what's the plan then? When can I expect you and yours to be ready to go?
Well, that was actually my next question. This operation that you've put together, does it require us in any way, or do you just need use of our circle?
Oh no, it most definitely requires us. So she kind of like points to like everybody in the room. I present to you Team B.
I see. Well, I need a few days here myself to get some things in order.
Most we can spare is 2. Any more, and we're pushing that timetable.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I can get everything done in 2 days. I can try, but if I can't, I can always join you guys in the fray after the operation's already underway.
I mean, do you need help getting things done, or are these things you have to do personally? It's not like I'm doing anything for the next couple days.
They are more personal things, I think. A lot of it involves this new knowledge that I have obtained, so it's quite volatile work.
What new knowledge?
Oh, right, you were a weird bird thing at the time.
She was given the choice to save you or learn how to finagle with those stupid crystals, and her instinct was to choose the crystals.
It's not a bad instinct to choose something for yourself.
Not quite how it went. Azure Claw, you know, he has that blade which grants a wish to certain individuals that he bestows it upon. We were going to use that wish to retrieve you after you flew off. And the wish was given to me, and I fully intended on using it for that very purpose. But there was just a fraction of a moment where I considered other possibilities. And those other possibilities happened to be the ability to work these mana crystals. And that's all it took. Just that fraction of a moment for the Jinn magic to take that as my wish instead of the one that I intended to use it for.
Don't know anyone who'd be given that kind of power that wouldn't take a moment to think of the things they could do with it.
Right. And I never
outright... natural thought.
I never outright said that I was wishing for the ability to work these crystals. It was just, this is possible with this magic type of thing. And none of us knew at the time that the wish would function in that way. So it was a surprise to everyone when it happened.
And even if you'd outright done it on purpose, I mean, that's just a choice you've made, and whether you got me back or not, I mean, you did eventually, obviously, retrieve me, but even not, I would no hard feelings about it. It's the way things roll.
Well, I appreciate that, Nalani.
Like I said, there wouldn't be any person in this room that wouldn't get power like that and think about what they could do with it.
And now that I do have that power at my disposal, I have thought of many things that I would like to do with it, and I'm going to start on that track today.
Well, I don't want to personally help you with that because I feel like I'd blow up in my own face.
That is understandable. I am admittedly a little bit concerned about doing that to myself, even with the knowledge of how to work these crystals. So it is, as I said, volatile work, but important nonetheless for what I have planned. There is also another matter that I feel I should bring to everyone's attention. And at this point, I will pull out that book that was once a man.
We just gonna call the book Etrin from now on. I'm gonna pull out Etrin.
I'm going to pull out Etrin and set him upon the table.
You got a fancy new book.
Yes. This is, unfortunately, what remains of Etrin at the moment.
You turned him into a book?
It seems that Surge, through the ley lines, had unintended effects upon him, and his curse reached its end. Chantra has given me this book, and in return I have promised her that I will do everything in my power to return Etrin to her. But for the moment, this very powerful artifact is in my possession.
I mean, keep it in possession for long enough, and Azure Claw will end up with another one of those wishes.
It's true. However, given the magic contained within this tome, I'm not sure if even a wish could affect it.
When you mentioned the wish, Yuriko under her breath just goes, "Yeah, fat chance the wish should be used the way it's supposed to be used for him." She sips on her tea.
And with my
Loud enough
awful
for us to
passive
hear.
perception,
I
probably don't hear you.
It's just a low mumble.
Okay.
I mean,
Wasn't sure how loud under your breath was, because everyone has a different volume, you know?
No, she's just like, it's she wasn't saying it. She's saying it to herself. So it's like when like when you're talking to yourself in your head, and it's like sometimes you just whisper what you're saying in like kind of a non-casual kind of way. That's how it was.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you're gonna have a busy few days.
Indeed. This tome brings it with it many risks, but it also brings with it much, much power. I'm not prepared to utilize it in any way quite yet, but it is now at my disposal, and figured it was worth mentioning. Chantra is in an awful state. Locked away in her room. I'm going to bring her some breakfast after this, but if you don't see her for a while, just know that she's as okay as she can be at the moment.
If she's up for it, send her down to the sparring area. Sometimes moving your body can help with those types of situations. I know that also held a lot of memories for her, so...
I'll extend the offer to her.
Then again, we should probably have her spot with someone that's not me.
I don't know, I think she might have a lot of frustrations to work out, and you're quite sturdy and can
Oh.
probably handle taking those frustrations.
Not worried about that. I just was never known to hold back when I spar with people. Because how are you supposed to get better if you don't know where your limits are?
Ah, I see.
I don't know if she's ready for that yet. I'm sure
Probably not quite yet.
we could find someone.
Kel sort of like sits up and he's like, well, how old is she?
That's a good question. She's young. I know that much. She's a sea elf, so it's really difficult to say, and she's been living under the care of an aboleth for quite some time. It's a very complicated situation, but she's young. I know that much.
Look, you're talking to a guy who's in his 60s and looks like he's barely 20, so I get you. I mean, we were tanking bonks and hits and stuff from Dad when we were 8 or 9.
I mean, Raleigh's older than 8 or 9, I imagine.
I would think so, yes. I never asked her actual age, but I mean, she's old enough to have common sense about the world and, you know, to understand as much as someone that comes from her background could.
Sounds like she's old enough to take a hit then.
I mean, she used to spar with Etrin, and I'm sure he got a few good blows in on her.
The offer stands, and if she doesn't spar with me, we'll find someone for her to spar with.
I think it would do her good.
Especially if she's frustrated, it's good to have a channel for those.
Agreed. Can't bottle up those frustrations for too long, otherwise it turns to malice.
Or spite. Spite's not necessarily a bad thing. It motivates you.
In a way, I suppose. I don't know.
Look-
All of my spite, again, has often turned into malice. I'm angry at a lot of things right now. Maybe that's it.
Sounds like you could use a good sparring.
I have some other outlets planned.
I don't know, I found spite served me a lot better. When people don't want you to survive and you survive anyway, it becomes entertaining after a while.
Fair, but as you said, you have a tendency not to hold back.
No.
And with a tome like this in my possession, I think I should exercise some amount of restraint.
That's fair. It's not like I can't go around casting magic.
Yet.
Wait, did I hear you correctly? Did you say that book's name is Etrin?
Yes.
Like, used to be a dude?
Yes, the one that I had mentioned had told me that he was High Prince of Kamiraska. That Etrin.
Is he kind of like, you could see him trying so hard to hold back from laughter? Is he
Sorry,
kind
am I
of like,
missing something?
he kind of like
Jericho's is
takes
not interested.
a deep breath and he kind of just like calms himself down. He was technically our commander.
Your commander?
For your order?
I wouldn't call it an order, but yes.
No, I mean for your. I mean, you wouldn't call your group of highly armed mercenaries an order?
No. An order would signify we're like something like a church or whatnot. We're more of a collective of like-minded individuals who take on tasks to eradicate evil wherever it may be.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like an order. Just a different kind.
Less steps.
Just like the blood hunters here are orders.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But, you know, we have a loose, and I mean very loose order to things. You know, we do have higher ups and we do have, in this sense, commanders. Well, but then again, I don't know what the rank and file is if your commanding officer is now a literary novel.
Depends. Can he talk to you through the pages? If you ask him questions on it, will he respond?
Kel kind of like, or Damon kind of looks at the book. He's like, I'm not saluting it.
You salute. Interesting.
He always wanted those underneath him to at least salute.
It's sounding more and more like an order the more you tell us about it.
None of the other commanders wanted us to salute, but he thought it was more proper to show respect to a quote-unquote higher ranking officer.
Maybe you're more of a guild then.
A guild works.
Was he a better fighter?
I mean, he was good, but you know, I wouldn't say he was better than either of us. So a little more level-headed.
How is Yuriko actually laughing?
I mean, at that point, there's no point in saluting because you just kick his ass instead.
And see, that's where, you know, I at least thought it was like, if I can beat him in combat, why do I salute him?
Precisely.
Did he ever tell anyone in your guild about the curse that he had?
He mentioned that every once in a while, when he would get hit by a spell, it would give him a tattoo, which then gave him the ability to cast said spell. I don't know if you could call that a curse. I think that's a blessing. But we didn't know that he was cursed.
Well, this transmogrification into a book is the result of that curse. Magic that was etched onto his body was quite volatile.
See, Ma did tell us that books were dangerous.
They can be. Books can move nations.
They can also blow them up if they're hag tomes.
That
Yet,
as well.
Same time, there's a danger to not having books. I mean, just look at my people. Our history got completely screwed over by a couple people. Convoluted, twisted to their own gains.
They are very, very powerful things. So, what exactly was Etrin doing up here? I mean, we have the story that he told us, but what did he tell you?
I don't know. Apparently he was up here to investigate some sort of monstrous activity or whatnot, and then we sort of lost contact with him. We just figured a monster ate him.
It must have been when he was turned into that undead draconic creature that he was when we first encountered him.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you, by any chance, heard the name Erdabusk before?
The boys sort of like look at each other and both shake their head.
Thought the chances were slim, but I figured I'd ask anyway. That is the creature, for lack of better description, that got its tendrils into Etrin, and me, briefly. That's why he disappeared.
And now he's a book.
And now he is a book. I will do my best to fix that at some point, but
Not
it's
it.
going to take a
As
lot of study.
as he calls out, you can see just the look of annoyance on Damon's face as he has like a grape in his mouth. He kind of just like scowls at his brother. Fine, I'll write the letter back to grandfather and let him know what's going on up here. But he's gonna love hearing, oh, the commanding officer turned into a book.
Maybe be a little bit more tactful in your description.
On the bright side, it's neither one of yours fault.
I mean, I don't know how you'd be more tactful with he's a book.
Yeah, I mean,
Fact's the fact.
a tome of arcane knowledge, a literary epic. I mean, any way you cut it, it's a book.
I would describe it more as a powerful arcane artifact that resulted from a curse.
But still a book.
I suppose.
The Vactair, thank you for that raid.
Woohoo.
Look, I will be as tactful as possible when I write my letter back home, but at the end of the day, the man's a book.
Right, but also at the end of the day, he was a man. He was a person. He had a life, he had a family, he had loved ones, one of which is upstairs in her room crying right now. So, just keep that in mind.
Oh, Commander had a sweetheart. We didn't know that.
They were newfound companions.
Ah. Oh, well, that sucks.
Indeed.
I won't let her. I won't let her read the letter. I promise.
Thank you.
Then another kind of like looks around at everybody. Okay, do what you need to do. You've got 2 days to get everything that you need said and done, and then I need all of you ready. Mia, I'm sorry if that means it sort of cuts into whatever prep time you had, but I need all hands ready to go if this jailbreak is gonna happen.
Okay, perhaps somebody could assist me with another matter then. That might help to speed things up on my end a little bit. I am in need of a spell scroll. A scroll of sending. If somebody can acquire one of those for me, that would be very much appreciated.
Sure, I can go out and do that. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing much anyway.
I'll reimburse you for whatever the cost is.
Kind of waves her hand. Need something to spend money on anyway.
He goes, you don't have to spend the money if you don't want to.
No?
As Damon sort of like reaches down into like a side satchel and just tosses a scroll over to
You had one on you. Perfect.
I am a sorcerer.
I didn't want to presume.
Presume what? You've seen me cast magic.
Well, there's a certain stereotype about sorcerers.
There is?
They, I don't mean this to sound insulting in any way.
Here it comes from the wizard.
But there's a certain characteristic about sorcerers wherein they just kind of stumble their way through the arcane.
Yeah, I've heard that, but I just say I'm naturally talented.
That is a very sorcerous thing to say. But you have proved yourself to not fall into the stereotype just by having a scroll. That is far more than any other sorcerer I have ever encountered.
How many sorcerers have you encountered?
You get that
Few.
you get that statement reverberated from you from the twins as well.
When you come from the background that I come from, even in a land where magic is scarce, you find yourself in the company of a few arcane inclined.
Look, natural talent aside, I had my own drills I had to go through. Ma was gonna, let me wander around a town slinging fireballs left and right. I mean, she didn't want another Tickles in the family.
Your mother sounds like an intelligent woman.
We think so.
Yuriko was about to go what to Tickles, and then she remembers, oh, that's the wife. And then, but she says, "Oh, that's the wife." Like she, like in her mouth opens, and her head, she says, like, "What's a tickle?" And then then her brain kicks in. She goes, "Oh," like in common, audibly, "Oh, that's the wife."
We get half of the conversation with yourself.
Yeah, she is a wife. She's married to Uncle Piper. But is there anything else we can help you with?
Not at the moment, but if you're going to be around, I won't hesitate to call on you. Oh, I do have an artificer potentially on the way. Do let me know when they show up, if Ollie doesn't first.
As Dead Mother sort of gets up, and she pretty much hooks her arm underneath Damon's and lifts him up, and she's like, no, this one's mine for 2 days. You have Dummy over there help you out. And again, they both just instinctively flip each other off, but you can tell that it's playful. As she's like, I will be back here in 2 days. Make sure you have everything taken care of. And so she just begins to walk out, with Damon hooked in her arm.
And I am going to finish my breakfast real quick, and as I do, I'm going to write a little note to Chantra, extending the invitation to her for the sparring match. Then I'll put together a plate of food for her and go up to her room and just slide the plate and the note into her room and close the door quietly. I don't want to bug her too much. But then priority 1 is copying that sending spell into my spell book.
What's your passive perception, by the way?
It's terrible. It's 9.
Okay, never mind.
You and me both.
Yeah, I don't
every time we
see
hear
anything.
that.
You pretty much open door, slide the food and the note in, and shut it.
Yep. And then I go back to my room. I spend 3 hours. Sending's level 3, right? I believe
Sending?
third level.
I think sending is 3rd level. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about playing online, is I can just Google everything.
It is nice.
I don't
Yeah, I
have to
do believe
open
it's
my. I
third
don't have
level.
to open. Yeah, it's 3rd level evocation.
Okay. So I spend 3 hours copying that into my book, and then priority number 2 is finishing reading that damn manual for that mana crystal that is intended to be my new arcane focus. I am at 26 out of 30 on the ticks for that.
Okay. So are you? How much time today are you spending on that book?
I am going until I hit 30.
Okay. So for the first part of the day, you can go ahead and give me a 2d6 roll. Or 2 1d6 rolls, I should say.
I got a 3 and a 4.
A 3 and a 4, so that will be a total of 4 more ticks on that clock.
That brings it up to 30.
There you go. So after so much time reading this book, you are now able to use this mana crystal as your arcane focus.
Okay.
And as with this mana crystal now as your arcane focus, it gives you a +1 benefit to any spell that you cast while using the focus.
Nice. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
This will also increase the DC saves by 1.
Exactly what I was hoping for. Okay. And once I finish reading that manual, I will take a moment, probably with some assistance from our resident gem cutter and gem setter, to pop out the stone on my sword that acted as my previous focus, and then inlay that mana crystal into that same slot.
So we can get to that on this, like the second part of the day. Before we get to that, I want to go through the first half of the day for everyone else to make sure that they've got what they need to take care of before we go into the second half here. So
Yep.
Yuriko, is there anything you are doing today or you are wanting to do?
I want to work on my expertise clock for athletics. I still have a long way to go on it.
You most definitely can. How much time did you want to dedicate to this?
I honestly have nothing else to do in town.
So you're gonna go for like a full 8-hour blitz?
Yeah.
Okay.
She has. I mean, you know, that's the good thing about being a loner. You know, there's no one you need to talk
All
to.
that free time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like,
Social
how many-
obligations, what the hell's that?
Yeah. How many D6s I gotta roll?
For the full 8, you can go ahead and give me, let's call it 4.
3.
Yeah.
Let's just hope I roll well. I'll be picking D6 and actually see. I really need to redo the ink on those clear ones. Clear on black is just not. One dud. I got a 6, a 5, a 4, and a 1.
Okay, the 6 and the 5 are 3. The 4 is a 2 and the 1 is a 1.
So 9 total.
So 9 total. Yeah.
$16 out of 75. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, but it's expertise, so you know that's always that's
I
the
know.
payoff for it.
Yep.
All right. Nalani.
Nilani did extend the invitation for the sparring match, so she's probably going to spend the day in our little training area.
Okay.
I don't know what happened with the wear bracelet, though. I was going to say she wants to start training for heavy plate armor, but after what happened with the wear bracelet, she's a little wary of the hunter's mantle she got from Vaga. So she's no longer certain she wants to do that.
Well, the great thing about the mantle itself is you don't need the proficiency for it. Because
you don't?
because it is magical. It is something that it's technically a magical item that just gives you the ability to wear it. There's there's honestly no requirement to it.
Well, that's because I haven't used it yet.
Just as long as you've attuned to it, you can use it.
Okay.
And Kel sort of joins you.
Okay.
And as you sort of like activate the armor and you're encased in just this black metal, suit of armor with like this wolf's head, these glowing red eyes. You can feel just like your blood inside of you begin to boil as you feel like small hooks sort of like grinding into your skin. And Kel kind of like turns his head and he's like, no way. Oh, she's gonna be so pissed. He's like just like right up on you now, just like in like having his hands just running along the armor and stuff, and like kind of like looking in the like the maw of the wolf's mouth. He's like, oh, she's gonna be so pissed.
Who?
My mom.
Why would she be? Does she like wolves or something?
This is her armor. Like straight up, this is her hunter's mantle. Where did you get it? We thought we destroyed these things.
A magical shop that appears when you draw a doorway on the thing, and
Oh. Huh. Well, I won't tell her if you don't.
seeing how I don't even know her, I won't tell her.
If you ever meet her, just don't tell her you have this. She's been looking for it since she lost it. And there are three things you don't technically take or hide from my mom. 1, her smut. 2, the armor. And 3, silk sheets.
Why not the silk? He really seems like a very interesting person.
She is. Most definitely she is. But yeah, just don't.
How'd she lose the armor?
Her group made her get rid of it. Because
Why?
if not, it would have killed her. There was a curse on, as he kind of says that, he sort of is like, give me a sec. Is he like sort of like twists like a small like necklace that he's got, as you see that he begins to become wrapped in like this like tight black leather armor, and then there's a small helm that forms over his head in the shape of an elk. We technically get these when we graduate the order. Sort of a symbol that we've become full-fledged hunters. That is a relic of the past, back from when my grandfather and his companions started it. The thing is, those armors, when they were crafted, had a bit of a curse put on them, to where slowly but surely, as time went on, it drove the wearers mad and would at a time outright kill them.
Is it still cursed? Do you think it's still cursed?
I don't know.
Kimmick would kill me if it's still cursed.
You got me. I've got no means to identify curses. I mean, I'm a ranger.
I just smack things with my very long stick. So I feel you on that one.
Yeah, same here. You know, who needs magic when you've got, you know, a blade that can do the exact same thing?
Though I can curse people.
Don't curse
using
me.
their blood. Doesn't last that long.
We had somebody else. Oh, my mom had somebody else in her group that could do that.
Interesting. I mean, we have the hunters group. There's often a few people that can do it. No.
So about the armor. One thing you're gonna notice as you're fighting is you're gonna start getting angry.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Already.
Yeah. It's gonna get worse. Plus side, as long as you're wearing that armor, you can't die. But as soon as that armor comes off, you're gonna be chunked. So just keep that in mind.
Good to know. Maybe I'll have Kimmick or Mia check it out just to see if they can identify anything on it.
Mm-hmm. And the armor does still have the ability that gives you the rage effect of a barbarian if you wish to use it.
Oh, cool. I will add that to my notes for it. I mean, I wanted to spar with it for a little bit just to see, get used to it. I haven't used it in battle yet.
As he kind of reaches behind himself and he pulls out the two short swords he's got and he connects them together. He's like, sure, let's go. I'm bored.
If you can see her face, she'd be grinning. She's down. I'm just gonna spar with him.
Now he's like, so armor, no armor. I mean, you're gonna train in that, of course, but
Armor, let's do it. I don't believe in holding back, like I said.
cool. I don't either.
Perfect.
You
Watch us know
have
how strong I am if you hold back.
he kind of like gets it. It gets in an attack position. He's like, you have the utmost permission to beat the ever loving hell out of me.
Now, do you want me to use one of the other glaives, or you want me to use this one that got whatever?
Oh, don't hold back.
We just okay. So she's gonna be trying out her new glaive at the same time. Wait, is he technically anything? Does the undead go off on him? I'm a little worried about that, actually.
You don't know.
We're about to find out.
Yep. So like you and him like go at it back and forth. And you get some like very well placed hits on him, but you notice that the disruption effect from it doesn't affect him.
Oh, good. She doesn't really want to hurt him.
But as you can see that you've cut into him and you can see like blood like sort of leaking out every now and then, you see the armor that he's wearing slowly begin to heal him.
That's a cool effect.
Ash just identified as one. But yeah, so the two of you are like most definitely can go back and forth at it for like however long you want. And just so we don't have like an hour's worth of combat here, we'll just do a quick roll off of a d20 to see which one of you comes out victorious.
All right, sounds good. I got 14.
You got an 11.
Oh, barely.
So like near the end, you get a well placed hit enough to like sweep him off of his feet and sort of just like stand over him with the glaive pointing, and he kind of starts laughing as he recalls the armor, and he's just got a stupid grin on his face.
She'll recall her armor, and she probably has an equally stupid grin on her face because that's probably the most fun she's had in a while.
See, I knew you were gonna be fun. I need more fun friends.
Yes, definitely. This was the most fun I've had in a long time. Kind of rub a
Awesome.
spot on her shoulder that he probably whacked a little hard, and be like, it's good not to have to hold back. Well, not that I would have anyway, but it's good to have something to keep up.
Yeah, you don't have to hold back on me. I kind of like it when people can kick my ass.
Are they in the training ground?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So is it like an extra dimensional space, like bigger on the outside than bigger on the inside than is the outside, or is it just
it's pretty much like just a training facility. So it's large enough for people to like train like their athletics or work on their drills with like dummies or whatnot, but there is a small little arena that's made for like when people are going to spar against one another.
Okay. Then because I'm just trying
We
to
have an
figure out,
octagon.
because Jericho would probably be on like whatever the non-combat area is, just doing the rounds with her giant boomerang.
Okay. And you can see the two of them just going all out against each other, but the entire time it's nothing but laughs.
Yeah. Muscleheads.
Yeah, not wrong.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm trying to, like, her training looks more like a dance than combat. But
More
it's,
agile and graceful than the two
well,
meatheads
no,
beating the ever loving hell out of each other.
it's obviously
Probably.
it's obviously strength because she's like wielding this giant ass boomerang, but there's more finesse to it than, like, it's not just, you know, the typical manga swing a sword
Yeah.
10,000 times, you know, bullshit. you know, she's doing, you know, maneuvers and whatnot with this giant, you know, boomerang. She's doing moves where, like, she should let it go, but she doesn't, so she can, like, basically, you know, keep a hold of it
That makes sense.
and stuff
Mhm.
like that, because she's trying to build up her strength.
Yep, that makes total sense.
Lolly was focused on not getting her ass kicked completely. Well, I wasn't paying too much mind to what you were doing. But, yeah. I think with that, a good soak in the hot spring is needed.
Yes.
Sore spots.
Hell yes.
And she'll probably let Yuriko know that if she's going to be here a while, if, oh, god damn it, I'm forgetting names right now. If What's-Her-Face comes down looking for her...
Chantra.
Yeah, Santra, thank you. I don't know why I was blanking right now. If Santra comes down looking for her, to send her towards the hot springs.
She, like, nods while she's doing a cartwheel.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go soak in the hot springs for the other portion of the morning.
And you can tell he's like right next to you, like completely agreeing with that idea.
Yes.
All right, Azure Claw.
Azure Claw is unfortunately going to be excessively boring and is going to spend every waking moment from now until the point where we have to leave working on his jewel crafting. Because people are now making requests that involve me not being allowed to screw it up.
True. You also have the fancy new jeweler's kit as well that allows you to work some fanciness into those gems.
I do.
So if you're going to spend the entirety of the 2 days doing this, that's going to be about 16 hours worth of training, because you can't train for more than 8 hours a day.
Yep.
So in that case, you can give me 8 1d6 rolls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I thought I did have that jeweler's kit written down. I apparently do not actually have a full listing for it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't given you the full list of the what the full list mana crystals do. Because you haven't done them yet.
All right. 8d6s. Okay, I can live with this. Just group these up. Yeah, lower than I'd like, but that'll do. So 2 1s.
Okay, so those are 2 1s.
3 2s.
3 2s, those are 1s as well.
2 4s.
Those are 2s.
And 6.
That's a 3.
So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Which puts me at 34 of a 75-point clock. Alrighty. Unfortunately, it's not the most exciting thing, but it's work that needs to be done.
Expertise, man. That's huge once you hit it.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta buckle down.
Yeah, this is one of those. I just need to do the thing.
This is just a training montage for Azure Claw.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. And Zoro, are you here?
Physically, yes.
Okay. Is there anything you wanted Kemek to do?
Yes. You said we have a couple days?
You have 2 days, yes.
2 days. Okay. One is going to be dedicated to studying the Elvish book because I refuse to give up on it.
That's the one that gives you the ability to speak the Elvish language?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna learn all the languages at some point, god damn it. That's my goal. So yeah. So how many rolls would you like me to do?
If you're spending the entirety of the first day doing this, this is going to be 8 hours, so 4 1d6 rolls.
Alrighty. Wow, I rolled surprisingly well. 2 5s and 2 3s.
Okay, so the 2 5s are 3 each, and the 2 3s are 2 each.
Okay, give me a second. Oh, so close. So close. Actually, you know what? With what I have going on the next day, it's not going to take me the whole day, so I could dedicate the last half, perhaps. I'm so close. So for the second day,
Okay, but
Kemek-
before we get to the second day, this is just like the first day. That way, if anybody needs to
Oh, okay.
talk with one another or do anything else, then you're still open.
That
I mean,
is
with
true.
Kimmik being around, I do want to ask her to take a look at the Hunter's Mantle to see if it's cursed. That's
That's
a
true.
You mean you had multiple cursed items on your person?
Maybe. I got these all from Vaga. I don't know what's cursed and what's not. I mean, obviously the wear bracelet was, but
Give
so
me
now I have to be wondering
all-
about this.
Give me all your items.
Is this
I
conversation
will
going
look through
on?
them all.
Is this conversation going on in the hot spring?
Oh God!
Please
no,
tell me
Kemek would
Kimmik
go to
came to the hot spring.
Hell,
Damn
fucking no. Kemer's like, no, you come to me. Clothes are not optional. You wear clothes. God damn it.
She wears clothes in the hot spring. She wears her loincloth.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't talking about you.
You'll know that he's naked in there.
It's my son. Of course I know. Do you
I'm
see
so
who his
sorry, I
father
was
is?
enjoying the view.
Actually, it's not true. Do you know who his parents are?
Sure.
They both hop in.
Yeah.
Ever heard of Naked Tuesday? There you go. No, this would be in Kemik's study.
Yeah, probably. I probably have to go find Kimmik because there's no pulling Kimmik away from her studies.
Yeah.
Their studies.
So kind of be like, all right, let's take a look, as I will use identify.
Ah. Can you give me a d20 roll?
For the record, because I'm a wizard bitch, I'm definitely doing it ritually. There we go.
That's fine. You still
Realistically-
need to give me a d20 roll.
You still gotta make the roll.
No, I know.
And what level spell is that?
I think it's a
First.
1.
Is a first level? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a 13.
13.
Yeah, that's what the
Ooh.
D20 is for.
Oof. Let's see. Okay. Okay, you're good. You're good. Barely, but you're good.
Yay!
Thank goodness it's a first level.
Early.
Yay? Question mark?
Thankfully, it's only first level.
Yep. As yeah, I'm going to identify it, and I assume it's all the things I already know because it's my armor.
It is, and it isn't. There is no curse on this armor.
Then player in me wants to lie. But Kemek doesn't know who Ash is, so.
Yes, it's cursed. Don't ever use it again.
So it's not cursed.
It's not cursed.
Son of a bitch.
Jealous.
A little
Be
bit.
jealous.
I know what I said in Behold Lore. Still happening.
I didn't watch that episode yet.
So Kemek is gonna look at you and go, "Count yourself lucky. It is not cursed. Although it's edgy, so I suppose it's fitting for you, I guess."
Has a lot of useful abilities.
Well, from what I was able to obtain from it, it certainly seems so. But, thankfully, it is not cursed.
I'm glad it seems to work, even though I don't have proficiency in this type of. I don't work well in this type of armor. It's glad I don't have to haul around something like this to train in.
I mean, the edginess suits you. I didn't say that it was probably good to wear it, though, because armor in general just doesn't suit you. Except that breastplate.
Appreciate that. Mostly I'll probably only wear it in battle, since it tends to come on and off real easily.
Yes, it does seem to have some interesting qualities of, sort of magically snapping on and off. It's very interesting, but also quite useful if in a pinch.
It definitely seems to, guard me pretty well when I wear it. I just used it in a sparring match against Cal, and it worked well. It's also quite fun to spar with. I don't have to hold back. Well, I don't have to worry about not holding back. Not that I'd hold back anyway.
I am so sorry I'm not worth sparring against.
Not saying that, it's just a different kind of thing if you do it. Yeah, I more had to dodge lightning bolts, and that's a little weird. I don't dodge that well.
Unlike a certain bird we know, I know how to dodge lightning bolts.
Wow.
I was waiting for someone to do
Wow.
I don't know what session you guys were a part of, but she was dodging those lightning bolts.
Not at first.
Until she didn't.
Until
She
she
was
did
at first.
Until
she
she
didn't
did it.
at the end. It was the last one that got her. But the first few, she dodged them. That's what pissed off the giant.
Shots fired.
Tossing shade, damn.
I chose my words intentionally.
So yes, I can see it being very useful. Sparring match or no, but unless you have anything else on your person that you think needs to be checked out, I have the ability to, well, as you've witnessed, look to see what it does, but also the ability to get rid of said curse. Within reason, of course.
Good to know. I mean, I don't have the bracelet anymore. I don't know where it went after the whole fiasco. But
You're not finding it again.
no, I don't really want to. It's okay.
Good.
But I'll let you get back to your reading. Your
Thank you.
study. She looks over at the random symbols on the page, not understanding it because it's Elvish.
I imagine since they're learning Elvish, it's very similar to like,
Rosetta Stone.
yeah, where it's like, it's really just me writing in the book, like, here's the sentence, now translate it and use the trace over. It's like, oh, okay.
You have the Duolingo enchantment.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, Kemek, that's pretty much going to be Kemek's first day.
Don't forget to eat lunch. That's what she says as she walks
I have my canister, I'm fine.
The amount of times I have been told that.
Eat your lunch.
Don't forget to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually
I've-
been almost 12 hours since I last ate.
I have a coworker I have to tell it to constantly because he'll forget to use lunch.
Yeah.
And the mom in me doesn't allow it. Eat your lunch, goddammit!
I'm a hypocrite. I tell others to eat lunch, but I do not.
You are a hypocrite.
I am. Do as I say, not as I do.
Aren't most moms?
Shush! Don't tell anyone our
You
secret.
know! Yes, but you know!
How dare you?
Just saying.
Don't call us out like that.
I've lived with more than a few. I've seen some hypocrisy. That's all I'm saying.
Mia,
Yes.
going into the second half of the day, you said that you wanted to visit Azure Claw in order to get your new focus installed into the sword that you carry.
Yes. That is going into my short sword is the one that I use as the focus.
And much like the first day that you were here, you find Azure Claw deep in work in the workshop. You can just see various quote unquote practice gems that have been cut and polished and everything in different formations, and thrown off to the side into like a small bin after they're taken care, like after they're worked on. And
They're referred to as the gold piece gem pile.
Yep. With the one gold piece gem pile.
One Piece?
Also known as how I pay people.
I'm sorry, I came back. I heard One Piece.
No, not
No.
you.
It still hasn't been found.
Damn it.
Look, we would have upset a lot of people if, what is it? 39 episodes into this campaign, you guys found the One Piece, and they haven't been able to do that in thousands.
And I'm still loving every moment of it.
So I'll go into the little workshop area that he's in, intent on talking to him, but immediately get distracted by the pile of gems. And I start kind of like sifting through them and look over. Like, I don't suppose any of these are worth about, I don't know, 25 gold?
Flick one, flick one, flick one. He's just golfing them on over. It's like, no.
Oh.
They are practice.
Well, they're beautiful. You're getting quite good at that.
They're also just rocks.
But
As you look closer, you realize that they are just shiny ass polished rocks. There is nothing of value in that list.
I wouldn't say there's nothing of value here. You can sell even just a rock to the right buyer.
Why?
Well, for money, of course. That's why. Is that not why most people do most things, Azure Claw?
Normally trade, not.
Well, trade as well. They're pretty
Keeping in
rocks.
mind where I
They
come
are
from,
just
where I'm
rocks.
from.
That is true. I didn't actually come here to discuss rocks. You are quite the capable gem cutter. I assume you have some measure of skill in setting gems as well, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. I pull out my sword and place it on his workbench. I don't suppose you could pull that gem out of the center of the hilt there and replace it with this one. And I hold up the mana crystal that's now my focus.
Possibly.
Or if it's easier, you can leave that one where it is and create an entirely new setting on the hilt of that sword for this gem.
That would honestly probably be easier in the long run.
I certainly won't complain about a sword that has 2 arcane focuses embedded in it.
Considering the gems are probably not even the same size.
Yeah, because nothing can go wrong with having 2 different focuses imbued into the same weapon.
Of course not.
I assume my nice little workshop has all the appropriate amenities.
It indeed does.
Perfect. Then I'm going to find my arcane version of the Acetylene Torch.
Oh, I should mention, before you get to work, this new gem, it is a coalesced mana crystal, so do be careful.
Explodes. Noted.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the setting is probably nothing more than just metal that can be melted.
That's why I figured you'd be up to the task.
Now, I'm
don't
going to
imagine
nicely
it would be
just
dangerous.
pry the old gem out by bending the setting out of the way and pulling it out. Basically melt down the old setting and make a new one for it.
Okay. Now, are you using your new tools for this, or just the basic tools that are supplied in...
I will use the new tools wherever possible within this.
All right. Yeah, because you are...
There are certain things that are not going to be provided in the little toolkit, obviously.
Most definitely.
It is a portable toolkit, not a workbench.
This is true.
I mean, I will take a portable workbench. Pocket dimension workbench, please.
Like the
maybe
the Knoll Smith that you guys encountered in No Way Out.
Yeah, maybe a future raccoon gift.
Yes. All right. So you probably want some D20 rolls on this.
The only D20 roll I need is when you go to set that mana crystal with your tools.
Okay.
Because I'm taking everything else as basic work that is covered in your training regiment.
Yeah, like making a setting is a pretty basic thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the gem's this big. Bent metal, work metal, set metal.
Yep.
Okay, so 1d20 roll. What modifiers does this kit give to me?
This kit will give you a +2 modifier on your
Above
rolls.
and beyond what I normally have?
Above and beyond what you normally have, yes.
Okay, that's easy for me. Does Mia do the thing? Does Mia?
Mia doesn't do the thing, no. Mia doesn't help people.
Yuriko would agree with that.
As I'm sitting here, ponders for a second while looking at the problem. Find, oh god, what is his name? The brother who's not currently being beat up.
He's not here.
Damon.
Yeah, Damon.
Damon?
Damon's
girlfriend
off.
took him
Yeah,
off for a 2-day date.
Yeah, they're off shagging.
Freaking horny ass vampires.
I doubt very seriously that was him. He was basically being drugged almost by his ankles.
Death by snoo snoo.
It's like
You see, as a club, ponder for a second. Find Kamek.
Did you roll yet, Raven?
No,
Okay.
because someone did a thing last time, and the bird does not remember who helped.
I think Kamek has several things that can affect rolls. At Azure
do,
Claw's
yes.
As Azurclaw is staring at this, going, "I'm missing a step. Where's Kemek?
At Azure Claw's request, I will go track down Kemek.
And it's actually probably more as I'm working on the fitting and everything, going, go find Kemek.
I assume I can find Kemek either in their room or in the mage's area that I don't remember them.
I believe Kemek is sequestering themselves in the mage's workshop at this point.
Funny enough, I'm actually in my room for day one.
Ah,
I'm reading.
the secondary mage's workshop.
Isn't Kemek's room also a mage's workshop? It's like,
On my path through the house towards the dormitories, I will go through the mage's lab to see if Kemek is there. If they're not, I will continue to their room. When I get there, knock on the door.
Me just doing the wander through the house, calling the name out until someone answers.
I should have just used the sending spell that I got now. But I will,
Yes.
yeah. I don't mean to bug you, Kemek. I'm sure you're quite involved in something at the moment, but Azure Claw is requesting you.
All right, I'll be just a moment. As you hear a book close.
Much appreciated. And actually, while I've got you here, Kemek, are we talking through a closed door at the moment?
Door suddenly just opens real quickly mid-sentence. Yes.
Oh, here, this is for you. And I'll hand you the scroll of sending, now that I've copied it down into my book.
Ah. This will be very useful considering recent events. I
I thought so
appreciate
too.
it.
It's just sharing resources as you have done to me already with 2 different spells. Anytime I come across one, I'm happy to share it with you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Give Kemek a bit of a nod as I go back to my room to attempt my next task.
Okay. So Kemek, you're heading down to the Azure Claw's workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you find Azure Claw there with Mia's sword and the that large coalesced mana crystal. Well, not large, but coalesced mana crystal that she had previously gotten from Yaga.
Oh, hells, what is she making you do with that thing?
Affixing stone to sword.
She's having you handle this.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't she recently acquire knowledge to help guide you in this situation?
I think knowledge is based on working with, not installing. You have spell that can help?
Something like that. Now, I have several, and I'm pretty sure I remember which one I gave you.
Happy
It's
bird
for,
noises.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was for Dex, is what we need. Which, yes, so I can't remember. Is it 2 for me or 2 for another? Oh, it's me 1, everyone else 2. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take out my timepiece. And I'm going to spin it to activate the runes and touch Azure Claw and give him advantage on dexterity checks.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's the thing we were looking for.
Yeah.
Like, somebody did a thing. Now I remember who it was. All
And
right.
I have as many to help as I do sorcery points.
That's
or
a spell.
temporal points.
Was that a spell or was that?
It's kind of like my focus.
Okay.
It's my bonded timepiece, so it's kind of my foci.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure if it was a spell or not.
This technically is not. It's more of like I activate my temporal points to do certain abilities, but it's not necessarily a spell per se.
Okay, yeah, then it's fine.
Mia should be very, very glad that you went and got Chemic. Because the other dice is a 6.
Oh my.
Alright, that is a 24.
Okay. Now that you have used these little tools here, Mia, what color was that crystal?
It was red.
Ooh. One of the explodey ones.
Yeah,
You know, that's the information you're supposed to give to me beforehand.
that's fine.
Oh, by the
Yeah,
way,
you-
if you screw this up, it'll blow up your lab.
You literally handed him a bomb and didn't tell him it was a bomb.
Hey, can you put this bomb in my sword? Thanks.
Yeah, but if I
I'll
had
be in
told
the
him
other
it
end
was
of the
a bomb,
house.
then he would have been nervous while he was working on it.
So
Love it.
as you set this gem into the setting at the hilt of the sword, you see, as soon as you are finished, a bit of light sort of begin to come to life inside the crystal itself, as it then travels down the hilt of the sword and then along the blade, as now there's just like this bright red energy sort of emanating off the blade's edge. But it looks like it's stable.
Thank you, Chemic. Did not explode.
A good thing, too. Again, I don't know why she didn't help assist since she has gained this knowledge.
Followed by ... Where's Mia?
Letting you do the work.
Tucked away,
Where's my...
tucked away safely away from the explosion radius.
We have inter-house communications, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Mia?
Yes?
Come get sword. It glowing red now.
Oh, it worked.
It worked
That
with...
surprise.
It worked with additional effects.
Wonderful. I'll be right down.
I'm killing Azerin.
I will rush down to the workshop.
And on the workbench table, you see the sword there with the new mana crystal socketed in, and just like this light sort of emanating off the blade's edge.
Thanks for handing him the bomb and then not telling him how to handle the bomb.
I trusted in his abilities.
Where
And
did
look,
you go?
done a wonderful job. Oh, I've got so much on my plate right now. We've got 2 days and I've got 4 days worth of work to cram into them. So, busy.
I think at this point, Chemic knows I don't need the inside to smell your bullshit.
Oh, no, she genuinely has a ton of shit that she needs to accomplish in these 2 days. Like, she's been rushing around this house back and forth, like, not stopping at all to have a conversation with anybody. It's just been a passing hi, bye type of thing. She's busy.
Busy.
Now I'm actively curious what the sword does now. Made me do all this work and I want to know what it does.
Show us what the bomb does.
Well,
So-
I was... Oh, go ahead.
Your bomb sword, as it's pretty much being referred to now,
Yeah.
still acts as your arcane focus. But due to the use of Azure Claw's tools that he got from the Snow Mother, the blade has now been enchanted to where if you strike something successfully, it will cause an additional 3d6 explosive damage to the unfortunate victim.
Sounds like Mia needs martial training.
Now, Mia, when this explosive goes off, the wielder of said weapon needs to make a Constitution saving throw, or else they will be taking the 3d6 as well.
We know how that goes.
Because you are literally swinging a weapon with a grenade attached to it.
That's fair.
These weapons brought to you by Torg.
That's exactly what it is. Explosions?
Explosions!
Well, Azure Claw, you just made an untested ability of mine a lot more interesting.
I'm afraid, and I don't want to be in the same room.
Next time we find ourselves in a battle with several different targets, let's say, I'll give it a go. We can see what happens. But you did a wonderful job. This will serve perfectly as my new focus.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to go back to working my happy butt off in my workshop.
If you need me, I will be up in my room. I have a message to send.
Okay.
You know what would have sucked in that situation? At the level I'm at right now, if he failed that roll, the bomb went off, Kamek would have been able to temporarily, gone into, nothingness and not be affected before Azure Claw would have been exploded. But once I'm a higher level, I can bring you with me, bud. But not
Yeah,
now, you live dead,
anytime
sorry.
I'm working with those stones, you're going to have to be in the room now.
Okay.
You're like having a bomb shield in between me and what I'm working on.
This
we need
ability,
to-
at
we
least,
need
all I
to
have to do
get-
is touch you, and it's your next dexterity.
Y'all just
Roll.
need to get a just like one of those bomb defusal team flak vests for Azure Claw as
God.
he's setting these coalesced mana crystals into items.
Like, why are you wearing that?
Reasons.
In a bomb shelter.
That's not blowing up yet. Will blow up in future.
What's on with my phone?
Everything.
No, I see that I have a message from. There we go.
Oh, that was just me as a reminder of a write-up I need, because I forgot I needed it. So I'll put it in there. I forgot.
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
Yep. No rush.
All right. So, as evening begins to set on the first day, let's go ahead and take a quick break here so we can get up, stretch our legs, and do all that fun stuff. And we will be right back. And
You move around a lot.
we
You don't
are back.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Back before cell phones kept you in touch.
Yeah, just AIM, AOL Messenger.
That was the
They didn't have
stone-
that.
That was the Stone Age.
We're talking before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the worst part is that was like not that long ago. in the
No,
grand
it
scheme of
wasn't.
things.
It
No.
wasn't.
Mail.
It was like, oh God, what, 20 some odd years ago?
Most of us were in high school or just out of high school when that tech sort of started to
Boomed.
become normal.
Yeah.
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 Like,
And even
we necessarily didn't get a computer that could basically run like or connect to the internet until like I was out of high school.
it was all there when I was in high school. My parents were also very old school, and we weren't allowed to have it.
Mm-hmm. Like we got the internet, I think my senior year, but the computer we had was like a crappy store-bought computer, so it couldn't run any games.
I mean,
Look, we were required to type up our essays, and I had to use a typewriter.
let's just be honest. Every single person here right now is older than the internet.
It's
Look,
painful
you
to
don't
say,
have to
but
remind us, okay?
yeah.
I think everyone here is also older than cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when cell phones were car phones.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a
I
cell
remember
phone
when
in my
those came out.
car. Whoa.
Here's the definitive test. For anyone who had a typing class, was it
Yep.
typewriters, non-electric?
That
No.
was in high school for me. Weirdly enough.
No. Elementary school, they were really, really, really obnoxious Apple IIes.
Yep. Yep. Same
I
thing.
didn't take
Same
any
thing.
of the typing classes because I, one, didn't go to elementary school, and two, by the time we moved when I was in middle school, and the district we moved from didn't do the typing class until high school. And the district I moved to did it early middle school, so I just missed it out entirely.
Non-electric typewriters, baby.
Yep. I used to have.
I had those for typing up
my.
my essays.
Oh,
See,
God.
I did do typing lessons in school on a typewriter, but it was an electric typewriter.
Yeah,
I used one of those at work.
I had access to an electric typewriter.
Nope.
I
My elementary school was old Apple computers.
Yep.
And then my junior high, it's
God.
like they introduced us as like, no, Apple sucks. Here's a PC. Learn on this, and then get to learn on like Mario teaches typing and stuff like that.
Oh,
my God,
looks like
yes.
If you
Looks like
think
ro-
about the jump between when you were in elementary school and Apple IIes were standard, and then you hit high school and that technology was severely outdated.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Oh my god.
And nowadays, every kid in school has like a Chromebook.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so old. I'm sorry.
Yeah, now that everyone
tablet.
feels thoroughly old, let's go back to playing D&D.
Let's go back to
Yes.
playing D&D.
I want to feel young again. Let's
What-
play pretend.
which
Yes!
I also played as a kid.
I wish I played this as a kid. That would have been a lot more fun.
But yes, now that our trip to memory lane is thoroughly over,
Made us sad. Yes.
so your daily activities start to wind down and come to an end as that little bell begins ringing again, as now the smell of dinner begins to like waft into your rooms and into like the various areas of the house that you're in. And you kind of feel like a thundering of footsteps come running down the hall the moment that bell happens, as you see Kel just like booking it for the
We worked up an
dining room.
appetite today.
Did you now?
Mm-hmm. I know what I said. I stand by what I said.
And you can see as he's walking, he's still got like a bit of like a bruise right above his eyebrow, and he's got a couple cuts on his face and stuff. But like his hair is kind of like clinging to his head, as it's obvious that he had just gotten done bathing the moment the bell rang.
Mm-hmm. Look, we don't need another awkward flirting scene, so... Although there's probably that happening in there too.
do.
Look. I don't. Doesn't help that I'm awkward in real life.
We'll make it happen again. Don't you worry. Mia is gonna come get some grub, but she's just putting together a to-go plate to take back to her room because she's got a lot of work to do.
And as you start making that to-go plate and you go to turn around, the door like abruptly shuts.
Could somebody get the door for me, please?
As you get the feeling that your chef is telling you that there is no eating in the bedrooms at dinner time.
I'm not gonna leave the dishes in there, I promise.
You start to get like a feeling like sort of like going through you that this is supposed to be a communal affair. It's supposed to be a family time.
All right. I'll stay and I'll eat. But I am casting a spell at the dinner table.
And as you say, that door opens up.
Okay.
Teleport.
Sit down.
Teleport.
Yeah,
and
I'd like to cast Dimension Door, please.
The kitchen counter spells.
Yuriko
I wouldn't
comes
put it past
in.
I counterspell the counterspell.
Her hair is
I
damp.
cast by the
'cause
cast
she
by the
was-
cast spell.
Her hair is damp because she was showering. She was sweating all day.
And as you all walk and you see that there is various cuts of meat in a couple very hearty stews that have been laid out, as well as various loaves of bread. And you can, Damon is already in there and he's already got like a giant plate of food. Just so you know, I love this house and I never want to leave.
I was just thinking the same thing.
No, you should
Do
leave.
they not feed you at home?
Oh, they feed us a ton at home, but you know, it's been a while since I've had, you know, this sort of spread on hand, you know, for every meal.
The chef is quite talented.
Really is.
I'm just here to grab food and go.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
As you say that, the
You
door
won't be able
shuts
to do
again.
that.
I think the chef takes offense that you try and leave with the food.
Dimension door.
Counterspell.
Counterspell your counterspell.
Counterspell your counterspell.
I still got more
Dead-
counterspells. God damn it.
Dead magic zone. The kitchen wins.
Anti-magic. Field goes up.
You finally get the teleport, but your food doesn't come with you.
I have my soup can. I can hear it now.
The food is anchored.
The counter is going to cast silence in an area.
Yep. Focus directly on Chemic.
It's like, this is going to be a peaceful, quiet meal. Silence.
Subtle spell.
I have work to do.
I have much work to do as well, but the kitchen requests that we stay for the duration of the meal. But they don't seem to have any qualms with us casting magic at the dinner table. So we can do that, Chemic.
Mick is probably gonna do the one goblin thing that they can do. And the plate that they have in their hands, they're gonna lean back, open that mouth wide, and just pour the food in and go, there, done.
And the door like remains shut for a moment, and then like very begrudgingly opens.
And I put the plate down and walk out.
Chemic, before you go,
Yes.
I don't suppose you have a little piece of copper wire on you that I could borrow? I left my focus upstairs.
You mean your grenade sword?
I left my grenade sword upstairs.
I do have some, yes.
I'll return it after the kitchen lets me leave. I promise.
I have a small spool of it. I will just cut you a piece.
Much appreciated.
So yeah, I will go ahead and hand you a piece. Be like, anything else?
Nope, that should be everything.
Perfect. Turns around and walks out. Gabo got to read.
Bring your books to the dinner table.
Yeah.
Get food all over it? Wow.
That's what
Tell me you can't
prestidigitation's for.
eat.
Presentation is for.
You
We
can't
don't
read
have
one hand, eat with the other.
prestidigitation. We don't have the simple bitch.
I
with
don't
spells.
know why you don't.
Between
We
two
both-
wizards, you
I know.
can't manifest a prestidigitation.
I don't think I've ever seen that. 2 wizards at the table and neither one has prestidigitation. That is amazing.
Do I know something else that's crazy? I don't have mage hand either.
Yeah, I don't have that either.
Mage hand's kind of like, prestidigitation is like that.
Nope.
That's like, that's like an essential. That's
I
like
also
warlocks.
didn't take detect magic.
That's
couldn't
like
find
warlocks not having Eldritch Blast.
Look,
I also
a
don't
good
have mage
chunk,
armor.
a good chunk of my spells are like RP or like support situational stuff. While yes, I know prestidigitation is one of those, mine's a bit more different. I have scribe. I copy and paste shit like a copy machine. Who has time to write when I can just go copy paste, copy paste?
Okay, Xerox.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an ability on would-be heroes. Quit trying to copy.
So as
Although I did forget I have message and I don't ever use it. Oops.
Kemek goes to return to the room, everyone else sits down around the dinner table.
Does anyone here mind if I just do a quick sending before I eat? I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable with, magic.
Something, no texting at the dinner table.
So we agreed not to remind ourselves of childhood. It was too long ago.
Phones on the table, face down. Don't touch them.
Kel kind of shrugs it. I don't care.
I am trying to get more used to the idea, so it's fine with me.
Yuriko doesn't even respond to you.
All right then. Just be a moment. And I am going to take that piece of copper wire and attempt to send a message to my mother, my adoptive mother, so the hag. I don't know if she's still alive. As of the start of this campaign, it had been a couple years since they last saw each other, but as far as I know, she's not dead. She's just out in the world somewhere. It's the other one that's dead, the actual mother.
Okay.
So, hold up that piece of copper wire, and she is going to say, Mother, I need your immediate assistance, or the assistance of an ally that knows the dream spell, to help me revisit a memory. Please help. And that is the 25 words that she is capable of sending.
One moment.
You actually hear that. It's like the old like telephones back from the 1940s where you do the sending
Yeah.
sound. It's like, please hold.
I mean, sending a
So-
message to
Sending
a
your
send a-
message now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do have
You-
hold music.
You
Get a
send the
switchboard
message,
operator.
and you know that it's been received, and then you get a response. My dear child, I am away on some important business, but worry not. A friend will be with you shortly.
Oh, you fucker. Oh.
All right, message has been sent. We can dig into our dinner. If someone arrives at our house later tonight, it's probably for me. Don't be alarmed. Or do. I don't know. I'm gonna dig into dinner.
Yep.
Looks delicious.
I mean, Oleg's already digging in. She's had an exhausting day of sparring. And less than fully relaxing baths.
Because your passive perception is so horrible, you wouldn't notice this, and Mia wouldn't either. But anybody who's in there with a 10 or higher every now and then can catch Elle sort of like looking up and glancing at Nalani, then going back and eating, and looking at her and going back and eating.
Oh.
I wish my passive perception wasn't shit. I don't want to just let that lie.
Oh. Yeah, oh,
Come
man.
on, let me roll for it then.
Is there a common like love song for the area, like for the continent? You know how every land has like a certain set of common bardic songs.
Someone's
there-
sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Yeah, there are a couple of them that have different meanings to them.
I'm gonna pick the one that is the most platonic of them, and
Secret
just start.
lovers.
That song is not platonic, man.
No. No. That is the opposite.
That
What?
song is not platonic. I'm sorry. Anything from Motown is not platonic. Let's just get down the table right now.
Yeah, neither is Careless Whisper, Rosa.
Oh. Jesus Christ. So I'm sipping my tea and I'm just quietly whistling this love song out loud, I'm not trying not to be smirky about it or whatever. I'm just whistling it and seeing if anyone picks up.
As you start whistling it, and he starts breaking into song. As he starts to just very loudly, loudly and very professionally starting to sing it.
Wait, who's singing this?
Your son.
Elle?
Wait, which one? The obvious one.
The obvious
Should
one.
have done the obvious one. Oh my god.
I keep whistling it.
And he just oh, give me a second, so I don't know my octaves.
Why do I hear the troll song in my head right now?
Right?
Please no.
Yeah, it's just just a very deep, bassy voice as he's singing it, and as Yuriko keeps going on, he keeps singing it as like he starts to he gets up and then he starts to like walk around the room and starts getting more and more into the song as he's singing, as he's trying to get everyone else to join in with him, and just like seeing the very awkward expression that's on everyone else's faces.
I'm still whistling along. I'm totally regretting I don't have my
This is a guest
my
star
boomerang
moment.
down here.
And he goes through like the full rendition of the song as you're whistling. And then as soon as you're done, he just sits down and starts eating again.
And Mia starts clapping. That was wonderful.
No, you could sing.
Sorry, I can't help myself. I like good song.
I didn't think you'd know that one. Impressive.
I've been around plenty of bards to picked up songs here and there.
As he was walking around the room and singing this love song, did I happen to notice any wayward glances towards Nalani?
I don't know. Give me a perception roll.
Is this still during dinner?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck.
That's what you get for running away, Kimmy.
I know.
I didn't see shit. I rolled a 5.
Yep.
Aww.
You were more focused on him and his movements than you were at, seeing if he was looking anywhere or anybody else was looking at him.
Yeah, I watched the performance and enjoyed it. Probably went right over my head.
I had to do it. Like I rolled. Would he do this? Okay, yeah. In his performance roll, fuck me. Is he?
Have I noticed?
He's the voice of an angel.
Have I noticed that? Because I've spoken Infernal in front of him and his brother a few times. Have I picked up that they know Infernal or don't know?
Yeah, no. You know that both of them understand you when you speak in Infernal.
I Infernal.
Do you see their uncle?
Yeah.
I just
You see
I
their
don't have to
family?
say.
Right?
I just to him
Yes.
I go good luck in Infernal, and I keep sipping my tea.
As he kind of like looks over at you and just like in very plain common, what? He kind of just shrugs and goes back to eating.
I'm same way. I'm not pushing it, but I
Okay.
just thought it was funny. I said I have no animosity towards him. That's why I said good luck.
I'll pick up on this stuff eventually, and I absolutely will push it.
I don't know. Not with those rolls, you're not.
No, I mean, it's going to have to happen, like, very obviously right in front of my face before I actually notice it.
You and me both. Look, when Yuriko said good luck, he's going to need it.
So, is there anything interesting that anyone's been working on today? I've kind of been all over the place, so I haven't really had a moment to poke my head in on your various projects.
Well, Nalani and I beat the hell out of each other today.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. We need to do that again tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh,
we
Sounds
probably...
tiring.
That's what the hot springs are for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I forgot
God,
that there was hot springs.
I love those things.
They're the best. Surprised you guys don't have them. All the other stuff you have in your house.
Oh, we do. We do. It's just, it's been a while since I've been in one.
I'm in them almost every second I can.
perhaps if I can find a spare minute or two, I will partake in it as well. Though, I've got a lot to do.
I mean, even 5 minutes is a good soak. Lets you rest, relax. Maybe you'll work out a problem in the back of your head while you're doing it. It's good thinking time.
Perhaps at the end of our 2 days here, I'll make some time. Speaking of, has anyone happened to have seen an artificer stop by? I was hoping they would today, but maybe they'll come by tomorrow.
As Ollie kind of like bumps in through the kitchen, he's putting out like spiced cider mugs for everyone. He's like, "Oh, I completely forgot to tell you, miss. The artificer will be arriving tomorrow."
Ah, wonderful. Thank you, Ollie.
Hmm.
Oh, and Ollie?
Yes?
There may be an additional guest at some point.
I see. Should I set out some tea?
I'm not sure.
See. Well, if you need anything, you know where to find me.
Yes, of course. Thank you. I think I am just going to finish up my meal here and then scurry back up to my room. Actually, you know what? I'll probably head to the mage's lab for the next portion of work that I've got to do.
Okay. So as dinner wraps up, everyone is then treated to like another course, but this time it's desserts, because you can't have dinner without dessert.
That's right.
You live in a fancy house, of course you're going to have dessert.
Yeah.
But once it's all said and done, everyone is pretty much freed back to whatever they want to do.
Yuriko is going to the sitting room with her hookah, and she's going to smoke a fat bowl.
I mean, that'll relax you. Kel sort of gets up and he just begins humming the same song that he was singing as he walks out, and he just like begins to walk back up to his room. Like every now and then he kind of like does like a little dance as he's going up there.
She like, I don't know if anyone's looking at Yuriko, when she sees him like singing and dancing and skipping off, she's just gonna shake her head and smile.
I think I'm more check in on I know the name. Starts with an S. It's gonna come to me.
Jantra?
Yes.
I was gonna spell it out. Fine. Just give it to her.
I'm more checking in on Santra, see how she's doing.
Okay. Are you knocking on the door, or are you just walking on it?
Knock on the door first.
Okay, you knock on the door, and there's no answer.
Yeah, I'm walking in.
Okay, and you walk in, and go ahead and give me a dexterity check.
Just a straight check.
Yeah.
Dexterity. That's gonna be a 12.
A 12. As you step in a plate of food that was left on the floor earlier in the morning. As you look inside the room, and she is nowhere to be found. So you notice that the bed is made, and the makeshift armor and rapier that was crafted for her by Etrin are also missing. And there is a letter on the on like the little nightstand. It's sort of like folded up and has Mia's name.
More take the. Is the letter sealed at all?
No, it's just a folded piece of paper.
No, she won't read it. The dice say no. So she's gonna go find Mia with the letter.
Okay.
Knock on Mia's door.
There's no answer because she's not in there. She's
Poke my head in there too, because apparently I'm not respecting anyone's privacy today.
So as you poke your head into Mia's room, there is just this utter chill that sort of like emanates out as soon as you open that door. And you look in and you just feel like you get that feeling that you're being watched.
Close the door and continue on to probably the mage's workshop, because that's my next place to look for one of the mages. Is Mia in here?
That is where you find Mia.
First things first, Mia, I think something is in your room. It's cold in there. I feel like something's watching me when I went in there.
Did I leave the window open?
No. Secondly, Sandra's gone, and she hands it over the letter. She left this.
Oh. I will open up the letter and give it a read.
And it just says, "I'm sorry, I can't do nothing. I'm looking for answers."
I see.
Should we track her down? I don't know what the note says. I didn't actually read it.
I want to know that she's safe. But I don't know. I feel like trying to track her down right now might not be the right move.
You know her better than I do.
Her and Etrin, they were a lot closer than I had initially thought.
They seemed like good friends.
Well, I think they were becoming more than friends. I think they were becoming pillars for each other.
Well, I just look slightly confused, because you're going to have to spell it out for her.
Anchoring points for each other. I think their friendship was blossoming into a relationship.
Is it friendship or relationship?
Technically, yes. I hesitate to say that they were lovers because I don't actually know, but I think there was a great deal of love involved between the two of them.
I get it now. They were flirty.
Sure, let's go with that.
They're courting?
That seems more appropriate, yes.
Okay.
And now he's
probably
gone, so she's understandably heartbroken. Not only is she heartbroken, but she's heartbroken in a world that is entirely foreign to her.
Now she's out wandering it.
She is out wandering it now, but perhaps this is coming just from my own experience as a child, being alone for most of the time. I feel like maybe she needs to be out there on her own, wandering, discovering, finding, who she is and where she fits into this world.
I mean, that's fair. I didn't find my spot until I wandered away from my clan.
That being said, I do want to know she's safe, but I don't know. None of us really are in this world, are we?
No, we are not. Not on this continent.
Perhaps.
Back to the other thing. So you didn't leave someone in your room? Wasn't your visitor friend?
I almost forgot about that already. I will please accompany me back to my room just in case there's something nefarious in there.
Well, while she walks back, she will She will activate her Rite of the Dawn just to have it active on the glaive as she walks into the room.
I will
Just because that's only 2 points of damage.
swing the door open and step right inside.
And as you do, there is just that uncomfortable chill sort of just like wrapping around you as the light in your room has been pretty much extinguished.
Well, you
I am shedding 10 feet of light.
weren't wrong about it not being right in here.
Miss, if I can ask you to leave, me and I have something to discuss of a private matter.
Mia, do you know this individual?
Do I recognize this individual's voice?
You do not. I'm a friend of her mother's.
This is that additional guest that I mentioned.
You sure you want to be in here alone with them?
I am sure that I am in no more danger here than I would be anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, we just discussed that. Sure you don't want me to say? Good at keeping secrets.
If they request that this meeting be private, then it should probably be private. My mother is very particular about these types of things.
And my
Okay,
time
well.
is very precious, so the sooner I can speak to this one, the better.
Contact one of us if you need us. I'm
I
not
will.
going to go far.
Thank you, Nalani.
And I'm essentially going to stand guard on the other side of the door
Mm.
for any kind of noise that might come out.
As the door shuts, you are now like encased in like pure blackness as this voice begins to speak to you, and you can feel it just all around you. Little child of the angels. Interesting. I would have thought you taller.
I've got some growing to do. Still, you're a friend of my mother's, yes?
Associate, companion at times. I am many things to many people. You can call me Jesus. I
Well,
am the avatar of dreams.
Oh. Well, that's a little bit unexpected. I was expecting, just another hag or something. It's an honor to meet you.
There is no honor here. You wish for power, wish for a spell.
Well, I wish for the spell to be used on me. The spell, if it was just a matter of using it, I have recently come into possession of something capable of it, but I cannot cast the spell on myself. I need somebody else to do that. And there's something very, very specific that the dream that follows must be of. Must be of a memory of mine, actually.
This is something I can do.
The memory I speak of, if you need to know what it is in order to perform the magic, it is
All
of
I
the
need is you to lay down, close your eyes, and let sleep take you. The dream will come.
Then I shall do as you ask. Make my way over to the bed and lay down.
And as you lay down and you begin to like slowly drift off, you see the darkness sort of pull away from the corners until there's just this individual outline of a humanoid being. As it sort of like creeps closer to you, you can see these pair of just like floating gray eyes, like just staring at you as it reaches out, and it just barely touches the center of your forehead as you drift off into a deep slumber. And what dream do you experience?
Mia experiences kind of like from a third person perspective, the moment that the obelisk drained her of her celestial essence. That memory of that moment just replays over and over and over throughout the duration of her sleep, and she's able to move around that memory freely, as though she's like a ghost watching it happen over and over. And she can go right up to the obelisk and examine it. She can go right up to herself as she's being drained and examine herself. She is trying to relive this moment in as much clarity as she possibly can, so that she can study the magic that drained her of her essence.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana roll.
That is excellent. That is a 27.
The magic that was used on you seems to be that of legend. Something that breaks the mortal limits of what casters normally are able to do. Whatever used this spell on you had the proficiency and the ability to use the magic of a god. Or a being of equal power.
And while she's reliving this moment, she's also closely examining the obelisk itself. Any sort of markings or anything that was in it, any changes that it may have gone through as the magic was being performed. Just every minute detail of that moment she wants to burn into her memory.
As you're looking into this obelisk, you begin to see something moving inside of it. This black, twisted shroud sort of coursing around the inside of it as it begins to slowly but surely take shape into this twisted maw that is almost draconic in its appearance, though extremely off. As these pair of like disjointed eyes sort of like just stare at you, almost analyzing you for a moment. And it's at this point you realize that this isn't part of the dream. Something is in here with you. As it's just sitting there staring at you.
Gonna like shift off to the side a bit, see if its eyes follow me again, as like a definitive, like, yeah,
as
this
you
thing's watching
shift
me.
off to the side, you notice as you turn in your dream, that portion of your dream is wiped. Not as you forget it, but as it's just now blackness. As something is just wiping the visual effects of the room away until it is just you and the obelisk.
gonna, I think, call out at this point, or just kind of softly say to the obelisk, bright scale? Ardro? Bright scale?
Bright scale, yes. Oh, God, I hate that name. Dragonborn in their bright scales and honor blood. And... No. Bright scale is something completely different. Bright scale is a puppet.
And you're the one whispering in his ear, then, I take it. You're the one pulling the strings.
I am the light. I am the salvation of this land.
You are nobody's salvation.
True. But they don't know it.
They will.
Maybe.
I will make sure they know.
Oh, and how are you going to do that? You can't do anything. A decrepit little mortal stripped of any trace of celestial life. You were a battery. And now you're a husk.
But I'm coming for you and for what is mine. You've been watching me for how long now? You know I have been studying this moment, studying your magic. The magic you used to steal from me and steal from so many others.
Oh, but I thought you would be happy to have something at least joining your plans.
Let me let you in on a little secret, bright scale, or whatever it is you're choosing to be called. I'm not interested in taking down the church or rebelling against Morning Glory or whatever else this continent is fighting for. I am interested in one thing only. You. I'm going to use your magic to drain you of everything that you are. And I'm going to take it for myself.
It kind of like studies you for a moment as the obelisk kind of falls and this little twisted draconic looking thing slowly morphs into like a version of you that's kind of like drawn back into the shade. So that disjointed red glow in the eyes is still there. You are going to take my power.
Every bit of it.
To be born again. Very well. Take it. And then the world will finally know the name of Ison.
Is that a name that I recognize?
No. Take my power. Take my light. Become a pretender.
No, I'm not going to take your place. I'm going to take what makes you, you, and then the world will forget you ever existed. I'm going to take that light and return it to the realm that it came from.
But it slowly starts to creep towards you as it leans in. Oh, but Mia, you're already me. And then you're left alone in darkness.
She probably just stands there, muscles clenched and jaw clenched for a moment before just letting out a scream in frustration.
And as you scream, you wake up. As there's just an audible scream now coming from Mia's room.
Or kick in that door. I'm going in.
And you can see Mia there on, like, now sitting up in the bed, just drenched in sweat.
I'm looking for the threat.
No threat anywhere. The lights are back on. The warmth is back in the room.
What's going on, Mia?
Do other people hear this scream?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it carries. It most definitely carries throughout the house.
I'm gonna sit up in my bed and listen for a ruckus. And I'll listen for as long as 30 minutes. And if I don't hear a ruckus, I'm gonna go back to bed.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Any of you looking into this?
Ezraclaw will actually get up. I'm not going to grab any of my armor or anything, but I am going to grab one of my swords. And head over to Mia's room.
You, as you walk in armed with your weapons, you can see again Mia just sitting on the bed, Nalani next to her, and just Mia just drenched in sweat.
Everything okay?
Rookie Bear Streams, thank you for the raid.
I don't know if okay is the right description for what everything is right now.
Heard scream.
That was me. I apologize. I had an unexpected meeting.
And is there anyone else in the room besides Nalani, obviously?
Nobody else.
Was it your same visitor from earlier?
Not quite. The visitor was an ally of my mother's. I requested her help in some dream magic, allowing me to revisit the moment in which my essence was taken from me so I could study it, learn it. But I was being watched during that dream. Watched by the thing that controls Brightscale.
The Pretender.
The Pretender. And it revealed its name to me.
Oh. Bold of it.
Well, I'm being a little bit bold myself, admittedly. I may have revealed a little bit more than I wanted to, but I was... Well, wizards are known for their egos. It knows we're coming, eventually. Knows I'm coming, anyway. It also said something that I found a little bit concerning, in that it was me or I was it, that we insinuated that we have at least more than a few parallels between us, and I can't say that it is entirely wrong.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I may have told it that I plan on using its own magic against it. That I intend on taking its essence as it took from me. And I suppose that's where the parallels start.
It's a pretender. It has parallels with lots of people. It pretends to be them.
Right. It pretends to be several things that it's not, but I kind of do as well, I suppose. And the allure of that sort of power is not one that's easily resisted.
All gods start somewhere. I'm sure they had an origin as well. I mean, the Snow Mother started as a Goliath. I don't see how that's a problem. I'm not saying you're gonna run off and become a god, but just
I have
even
no
if you
intention
do,
to, but
question is, what do you do with its essence?
well, I know what I desire to do with it. I just don't know if that is what I will end up doing with it, if I can even ever get it. I just... In those days after my essence was taken from me, and our little found family here was doing their best to console me, Yuriko actually spoke to me about getting revenge. And though in the moment I said that that wasn't my desire, I don't think I was being entirely truthful. I've been doing my best to stay calm and collected on the outside, but inside I am, oh, so very angry.
You should be. He took a part of you that he wasn't allowed to take.
Yes,
You
and
should be angry.
if I had at my fingertips the capability to rain that anger down upon the church and everyone that resides within it, I'm not sure if I could resist.
Not many could. Told you how I got these scars, right? And she'll point to the burn marks across her arm and her torso.
You did, though I don't think you gave all details of the story.
Probably not. I mean, I told you I was surrounded, held down. They were trying to alter my destiny
Yes,
by burning them off.
yes.
What I didn't mention is it was that moment that I awakened into my blood hunter powers. Lightning crashed down around me, through me. I directed it. Better hell believe I directed it at them. It is not unnatural. It is nothing to be ashamed of to be angry and wanting to use whatever power is at your fingertips.
But what about acting on those powers? What about the consequences that follow? Are
You deal with it
you...
afterwards. I don't regret it.
You don't regret it?
No, they got what they deserved.
With the way that your people treat you now and everything that has happened since, you don't wish you could do things differently?
One, they treated me that way before them. That was nothing new. That happened from birth. It was simply who I am. I've spent every moment of my life fighting for my right to survive. I don't regret what happened afterwards. No, I left. I left my clan. But I found all of you. As you said, we have a makeshift family here. I consider you guys my tribe now.
But in doing that, you had to leave behind any semblance of family that you had before. Has that not stuck with you? Is that not a regret?
No. Every decision we make, there's going to be two sides to it. Something good, a silver lining, if you want to say, something good that can come out of it. And there's always something negative. We choose what we focus on. Yes, I had to leave behind everything I knew and everyone I knew. But I found you guys. I found Kimmick. All of those things wouldn't have been possible if I didn't leave. Sometimes we don't know what that good thing is until it happens, but as long as we keep searching for it, we'll find it.
I suppose there is certainly wisdom in your words. And it's a lot to think about. That was... Sorry if I'm a little bit disjointed. That was just more than I was expecting.
Understandable. And it's easier for me to say because, again, you talk about leaving family. I didn't have any family. My mother didn't want me. Everyone hated me. A little easier to leave when everyone hates you.
I suppose so. Do you think it makes those decisions in the moment, in those moments of anger, a little easier, a little more clear, when there's the possibility of hurting family that do care for you in those actions that you take? Or does anger just win every time?
No, I wouldn't say it wins every time. My anger, if I took action on anger and it would harm all of you here, I would be terribly upset with myself. So, in those moments, they don't win.
It's a lot to think about, a lot to process.
But even then, I had my moment where I attacked Kimmick when I was hungry. That weird curse.
It's true, you did do that.
So these things happen. I had to have faith in those moments, even though I couldn't stop myself, that Kimmick could defend themselves. Trust, I guess, is what I'm talking about. It's not easily won, though.
Not easily won, but is easily broken.
Very.
As I'm very clearly working on repairing what little trust there was between Yuriko and I after the little mishap.
I don't know why she holds that against you. She ran after a little bit of power the Snow Mother offered her.
Yuriko is a very guarded individual, I think. Much like you, she seems to stay at arm's length from magic and that which controls magic, let's say.
Does she, though?
Well...
She ran after the Snow Mother awfully quick.
True, but we all have our deities.
I mean, I did everything I could to keep her from getting that power. For her own benefit, at least so I thought.
Well, it has come in handy.
Has it?
Once or twice.
I think with all the magic going on, it's hard to discern what's from who.
Fair. But, I mean, on the plus side, the Snow Mother turned out to be quite beneficial to us. Admittedly, I had my reservations when she first started getting involved in our little group. I was thinking it was just another nefarious god looking to stick their nose where it doesn't belong. But I was wrong, and I am very happy to admit as such.
I mean, I have to admit that I had some incorrect assumptions as well. Though, she still technically is a wannabe god because she did not finish her ascension.
Maybe she
so I wasn't technically wrong.
True.
I probably should apologize to her for calling her that so often.
Perhaps.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Either way, thank you for being here, Nalani. You as well, Azure Claw. I apologize if I woke you up. It was not my intention.
I think you woke whole house.
It was loud.
Well, maybe I have a little more to apologize for in the morning than at the breakfast table.
Probably get some sleep. Some real sleep this time.
Some real sleep. I did, however, for whatever it's worth, I did get the information I was looking for.
That's good.
I have tried several times to relive that moment on my own, but I suppose when something is traumatic enough, your mind stops you from revisiting it. So when your mind does something you don't want it to, you force it onto the right path with magic.
And maybe that pretender was trying to get in the way. You finally
Seems
found
like
a way
a
around.
bad idea.
I won't say it was a good idea, but it did have some desired results.
Might want to let House know that they don't have to rush here.
Probably a good idea. I'll let everyone know. And remind me, Azure Claw, in the morning, if I don't mention it before breakfast is done, I have some business to discuss with you.
That sounds ominous.
Concern.
As you're talking, this high-pitched whine begins to grow in the area as the entire city begins to shake. And then there's a bright flash of light, sort of like crackling, crashing from the foyer of your home. As you can see outside that the walls of Hampstead are beginning to crack. And then there's a bright flash and a crash inside the house as everything dies down.
Okay, that Yuriko's gonna respond to.
Yeah, I'm running over to see what that's about.
Well, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. And you know what that is.
And as you run out into the foyer, you see just kind of like kneeling in this pool of blood, just in like these tattered remains of clothing, is very shocked and terrified face is Lisa Breton. That is where we are ending for this week.
I'm sorry, Holiday Hootie Wuddy?
Do, Lisa.
Well then.
Or is it even Lisa?
Yeah,
Son of
After
a bitch.
the discussion we just had, I'm not sure it is.
Son of a bitch.
shit happened.
Oh, something happened.
Something happened.
That is 100% for sure that something did indeed happen. But
There's a goblin being used as a battering ram.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, look,
I want to say I'm squishy, but I'm actually not.
yeah, you're pretty durable for a wizard.
That's because I didn't want to be a squishy wizard. I'm like, I'm putting everything in fucking con.
You did do that.
Con and Dex, I am upping my shit.
But yes, that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If this is your first time here, this is not the only show that we do. I believe this upcoming Tuesday is another episode of Tales of the Outer Rim. No, it's next week.
No,
This is
next
the
week.
off week.
Oh, off week. Okay, so next week, on Tuesday will be another episode of our Star Wars game of Tales of the Outer Rim run by Tiltbot. On this upcoming Thursday will be another episode of Tricorn Isles, which is another 5th edition high sea pirate-like campaign that I run. On alternating Thursdays, on the opposite Thursday is Mass Effect Horizons, which is a 5th edition Mass Effect mod run by Zorro. On the upcoming Saturday is Wayward Wanderers, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
which is a Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by Azerin. On the alternating Saturday is Withered Waste, which is a 5th edition game that I run with a little post-apocalyptic feel. And then we have a brand new show that takes place on the last Saturday of every month, which is I want to say a modified version of the Kids on Bikes system, called Would Be Heroes, which is a game that's sort of inspired by the old school comics and X-Men cartoon and stuff like that. And we're still putting it together, but we will be having a holiday episode either this weekend or the next for this time around. We joked about it before, but this time around we are going to have a Christmas themed game taking place in the Fey realm, where the Kobold Rangers will be taking on a would-be ice lich that is looking to encase the land in eternal snowy hell.
Go Kobold Rangers.
And yes, it is very Power Ranger heavy themed.
Yes.
Yep. So keep an eye out for that on our Twitter and our Discord, because we will be making an announcement when that's taking place. We are just finalizing the details with some of the cast, and once we get everything set, we will make that announcement. But for now, we are going to head on off. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we will catch you on Thursday for some more D&D fun times with Tricorn Isles. But until then, have a good one.
I'm waving.